Welcome to Our Energy Matters with Anthony, Manna, and Dena Marie. Aloha.
Aloha. And to, I say, dobrý den. Good day to our Slovak listeners and viewers. Here we are at episode number 82, please, Anthony. In our episodes of Our Energy Matters, Dena Marie and I explore the practices and poetics of physical, mental, and spiritual self-care revealed through Dena Marie's intuitive soul search discoveries and prescriptions for living a blessed life. That is, a life anointed by well-being, self-love, healthful connections with others, and enlightened and balanced body, mind, spirit, energy.
Amen.
This episode, I gave it a title: Heal Blocked Energy, Heal Blocked Chakra Energy. There, we got it. And so what I say here is, and so do we have to say, well, yeah, every week we come up with a piece of writing and I read it, and we've been meeting now for 82 times and developing trust and love. Hear ye, let the trumpet sound, 1, 2, 3 blasts, calling folks who are currently broken. Broken, you ask? Yeah, as in rancid, low self-esteem, or roaring anger, or lingering depression. See what I mean by broken? Any type of broken, as in stuck in fear, stuck in addiction, stuck in really, really sour relationships. Well, folks, if you're still with me, then listen up, cause I know a place where you're most welcome to wander over to and find soothing relief for your broken spirit, heart, soul, body. Yes, even the body, as in you've got stomach pain, and you're going to find out about it. This place is a book. Well, it's actually the back cover of a book. I have to laugh at that because I never was able to say that to anybody, but here that I've been drawn to lately whenever I get shaken into pondering the maladies I'm shouting out here. A back cover of a book where electrifying wisdom and spark energized intuitive revelations empower folks like me to become enlightened by curative energized truth. We talked about that today, about being truthful in truth, called chakras and truth-telling crystals polished by manifestations of hope, healing, and renewal. The book I wandered through seeking its spellbinding, luminous back cover is Dena Marie's expansive province of celestial arts, calculatedly titled Our Energy Matters, The Art of Crystal Reading. It's a book where soul searchers, her clients and seekers, like this old guy, meaning me, will, quote, learn how to manifest their heartfelt intentions. Dena Marie, call her a celestial alchemist, teaches the art of healing, self-acceptance, self-wonder as she guides your crystal choice, tarot reach, chakra reveal. Chakra. What is a chakra? I was startled when I first learned that chakras, as defined by our celestial alchemist, are spark-endowed, quote, energy centers that distribute universal life force energy throughout the body, soul, mind. There are 7 of these major energy centers in the human body and hundreds of minor ones, and they receive, assimilate, and distribute energy throughout our energetic fields, our aura. I was jolted by the depth of this awareness, amazed really. How could I have lived these many long years without ever touching so vital a life-sustaining empowerment? And so I set out off on a journey to learn more about these spark-endowed life forces with our celestial alchemists, our healers, guidance, gained by her own in the fire of having been there, live there in the energy of recovery through soul search and mind seek. Follow me to the back cover sanctuary titled The Chakra Cheat Sheet, where we are all invited to place crystals on corresponding colors. Right side column faces a left side column. Right side is the marvel of longed for and cherished color crystal chakra convergences from the crown chakra down to the root chakra, from thought, light, sound, air, fire, water to earth. Whoo! And wow, for covering the depth of a life in harmony, harmonized by truths of our internal energy forces, empowerment, and our virtues. Dena Marie, let's start off, if you would please, with you taking on the mantle of, or wearing the mantle of your endowed truth seeker. That's a new one, I think. And tell us about the color crystal chakra convergences in the splendor of the heart chakra. And then we'll move over to the left side to look at the maladies, the blockages.
I just remember tomorrow I get to do my first healing fair, and I hand out the sheet with the cheat sheet on it. So everyone gets to do the class with me while they get to see the cheat sheet. So this is practice.
Good, I'm glad.
So you want to know the heart chakra, what's good about it? Or
what I was saying is, like, tell us about the color crystal chakra conversions in the splendor of the heart.
Color crystals. Well, we were talking about magenta and how that's my favorite color. And I made this up because I don't know why, but in the readings, when men pulled that magenta or pink, I started putting it in the heart chakra, because the heart chakra is green in all teachings. I added pink for self-love, and the balance between pink and green, giving and receiving. So I made this dance up, and it's mine. I truly did come up with this, that rose and green are equal. They have to be equal. So if someone picks all these green stones, I know they're giving too much. And if they pick the magenta stone, I know it comes from childhood issues. So I call it the little girl stone, even though boys will pick it. And remember the little boy who wanted pink stone instead of the blue when his dad was around? Mm-hmm. So we want to find balance. And we work on this all the time between that, is giving and receiving. And when you give too much, it's almost a law. You get stepped on. You become the doormat. And if you don't give at all, you usually become super angry and controlling. And that means your heart's, shut, closed. And I think we were talking too about how sometimes you're in a room and there's times you have to protect your heart. And that's how the chakras close and open. If you and I are talking, we're super happy and our heart's open, our throat's open, and we're talking like you can't stop us. And it feels good. It feels good. But if it doesn't feel good, like you and I are going through something, we choose to love ourselves, practice self-love, and do the things that bring us joy, keeps our heart open. But sometimes I do think maybe you have a boss, right? Remember I told you then I had sore throats. Yeah. Because it's all interconnected. Or your energy sinks and then you have stomach issues. Ulcers are usually when your stomach is all messed up, right? That's because you're closing your heart to be around someone and they're angry. And then you get sick.
Yeah, and then you kind of slipped over to the left side, didn't you? Because if I go to the heart on the cheat sheet, it says the blockages, heart-related issues, and that's pretty wide open, isn't it? It could be about yourself, your self-love, not necessarily. We
were talking. I work with PTSD firefighters, police officers, sheriffs, and military, and heart attacks were the biggest problem for firefighters, heart attacks. And that's because when they get off of a call, they go home and they don't talk about anything they've seen. And now recently, because so many men were dropping dead, they have groups that you have to talk and you have to get it out. Because if you keep pushing your energy below the heart, that's when you're going to have that energy come up. And that's called a heart attack. And like I told you, more women are having heart attacks because now they're in corporate America. They're not at home with their kids and their dogs. They're sitting in an office where they're told to keep their mouth shut. Oh, and you never cry. Remember, big boys don't cry.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that. That's so important to know. And I see here, you know, and the nice thing about the left side where the blockages are, and the heart goes on to coldness towards others, and that's a lot of fear, isn't it?
Mhm.
And then the last word there is despair, and that's pretty dark.
Yeah.
You know, but what's beautiful about this, and it's inside the book as well, are the prescriptions. And your prescription here for the heart is date yourself. You know, and you know, when I first read that, I thought, well, how could I do that? Well, sure, you know, and you know, and it doesn't, it can be, I was getting stuck today, and so I opened the front door, and even though it's cold and it started snowing, I went outside. I just needed to date myself outside, if you get my meaning. And it
I
was
do.
like I was walking hand in hand with myself, uh, because I really needed to be in the open space and let my heart reach out, you know,
And
to me.
to nature. I just remember when I was wrote the book, I had a day where I would do everything I love. So I'd exercise, and then I'd drive to Seattle, go to my favorite rock store. I'd go down the road to my favorite hippie skirt place, and this might be once a month. Get my hippie skirt, go eat Indian food, favorite food, and then go next door and buy a book at my new age bookstore. And that was my dating myself day. And then eventually those rocks I put in my book, and then I wrote a book, and I was basically wearing that hippie skirt at East West Book Shop doing my talks. Isn't it fun how that energy just kind of, it all made me who I was because I was having fun.
Right. And if you open to it, you know, and that's the, you know, rather than getting morose, or as you say, despair, which is pretty close to moroseness.
Or feel guilty or
Or feel,
unworthy.
yeah, yes, the guilt can really deteriorate the mind. Date
Mm-hmm.
yourself, volunteer in your community, forgive someone, and you can do that in your mind as well as in your heart, to forgive someone
Mm-hmm.
and reach out to a stranger. So the heart is healing when you are kind to yourself.
And the universe rewards you. I remember, and this is something silly too, my mom used to give me $20. She'd give me 20 bucks, and I go down the store to the New Age bookstore, a different one, and buy a New Age book every time. And then eventually I was at that store too, doing my talks and teaching. But it's like I had to tell the universe what is important to me. What's it, and it was learning, and it was New Age stuff. And but I felt guilty at first. I felt guilty, right? And even with forgiveness, forgiveness is a gift to yourself. It's practicing self-love, because every time you think about a person that you're, you know, that hurt you, it hurts you. So just loving them and letting them go. And you know, if you think about them and it still irritates you, because I have one person right now, then I need to forgive and I need to move on and like put on our favorite music, dance a little bit, do something good for us, which is self-love. And then our energy shifts, and then the universe gives you a gift.
Well, I love everything you just talked about right now could be transformed, morphed into, the heartfelt intention. You know that you know that you want. You know, I want to say my heartfelt intention for the day is to forgive myself for the errors of my soul. You know, the errors of my mind when I made mistakes by hurting people, not intentionally, but you know, because I was so consumed by the self without reaching out, you know, and a fearful of being hurt, I suppose, you know, or whatever. But the idea of the heartfelt intentions in your title, the title of your book, I mean, that has become a very powerful medium for me, because it's such a positive step in the right direction for healing.
Well, and you know, all this was channeled. It all came through to me because heartfelt intentions and our energy matters. So matters, physical world, that's the lower chakras, physical world, our energy matters. And it has to come through this heart chakra from the higher chakras, inspiration, imagination, creativity. And then when you have heartfelt intentions, whatever you create is heaven on earth. If I'm creating and this heart is not open, I'm going to create, like I told you, maybe a huge house, maybe even loneliness. Because you have to be open to have fun or to have dogs like you. How's that? I mean, or babies just look at you and stare at you. And lately I'm really happy. So the dogs want to be with me and the babies are staring at me again. But if your heart's blocked, usually people can feel it because you're angry.
Yeah, yeah, and you're aloof.
And yeah, oh yeah, stoic, and you don't dance, you don't jump up and get excited. You I call it a flatliner. It's like a heart in a, it's not fun. I mean, but people live that way because they've been hurt or that's how they choose to. I just feel that the heart is the altar to spirit and we have to keep it open. And that's why I practice Reiki, hands-on healing. People are like, what is that? And it's just love with no conditions. How many people need that? We all need that. A hug, a good hug. That's a prescription.
That's so true. And yeah, that's the prescription. And it, what I should tell everyone too is the fact that you've got two pages of these prescriptions in your book, and they're you happily go to them. I mean, I happily go to them because they're doable and accessible, you know. And that's what I mean, you know, we're going to, as we end this session, I'm thinking that we could go on with this forever. I mean, you know, and we just hit on the heart, you know, but I think we'll, you know, in our next episodes, I think I'd like to look further at the, you know, the right side and left side of that page.
Well, and you know, what'd be fun is to do the heart, but the two closest to it and what happens, how they affect each other, right? How, you know, a blocked throat or a blocked solar plexus, usually you're not able to express yourself. Your heart gets too big. You become over emotional and cry all the time. So it's fun to watch, you know, people pull them because it's the combinations that paints the picture for me. And it's very interesting. And this was a kid's game. So that's why it's so playful and it's so easy to do these prescriptions. It's not heavy. It's walk your dog. It's hug somebody, hold hands.
Yeah.
Go to the beach.
Right. No, I think that's what makes them so accessible or even delightful. You know, that there are ways of carrying on that are very supportive of yourself, you know, and you feel liberated, you feel good, you know, and you spread that around. I think it's so perfect, you know. So
and your energy matters. So if your energy is like I told you, then the people call you, the right people call you. But if you veer off to that one thing that's not working in your life, and you don't have the mastership of your mind, it affects all your chakras. We are a computer, so we just have to keep ourselves tuned up. And our conversations always lift my spirits. And after this, my energy is like much more vibrant.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And I feel the same way. That's why I say, let's continue exploring these energy matters, these blockages and the ways to heal them, aligning them with positive, life-affirming nourishment, because that's what it reminds me of, you know. And so I'm going to end the episode with an insight about risks and risk taking, which I've been talking a little bit about. Here's one that I found: to weep is to risk appearing sentimental. You know, and we also talked about to weep is to also risk appearing weak.
My grandma calls us the salt of the earth. Empaths are people that are sensitive. We're the salt of the earth.
Yeah, I believe that.
They probably heal other people, maybe too much.
Yeah, sometimes. Well, I mean, you know, and then you have that wonderful, brilliant idea of when a chakra is too open, you know, and I never really thought about that very much. I mean, but it's in your book all over the place. I mean, you just.
So, and if our heart was to be normal, we need to just express ourselves and put our foot down and just, you know, all the time, not till when we get upset and then it comes out like a volcano. And it's practice, practice, practice.
Well, that's what I keep hearing from the mindfulness folks and also Zen Buddhists. They say it's practice, practice, practice. You know, and that's why sitting in quietude is a practice that'll get you, you know, to open up to yourself. So I say, folks, you want to get closer, move closer to Dena Marie's wisdom, then listen to her weekly radio show, Lift Your Spirits, on 11:50 a.m. KKNW on Fridays on the West Coast at 8 o'clock in the morning. Her website is dena-marie.com. And if you go there, you'll find out about her healing work, what she has been doing, as well as you'll also find her very active on Facebook, where she talks, gives chakra insight into chakra energy, and talks about blockages sometimes and prescriptions. And there's also startling photographs of the island she inhabits. And it's a great place to go to really lift your spirits in many ways. My website for an interview with Dena Marie is Anthony Manna Books. If you go to my website's media section, you'll find an interview with Dena Marie, but with many others, a lot of illustrators and writers, because my website, if you're looking for a place to find good books, good writing activities, then you'll go there, because it's my life's profession has been to nurture children and tweens and teens to find their way into life, into their own life with reading and writing. So there we go. And ending this session is a joy. It's a great place to be, and I'm so happy we had a chance to get together and talk again for number 82. See you at 83.
All right, Anthony, have a good week.
All right, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.